this is one of those times being flagged by YouTube may be worth it because it is the time for a Christmas story. This is just a usage of the music within my podcast. I hope that they will allow it for the purposes of the podcast because tis the season. This is the beginning of the holiday season and a reminder to be kind to your mind and to others. You have to give love to receive love. You can feel, but you don't always have to but you still have to control your feelings, whether good or bad. Sometimes there are going to be more bad times than good, and that's actually okay. You're not always in church having a shouting session. Just remember that as you approach good and bad in life. And just be mindful to others, encourage, because not everybody is just as happy for this season as I am. Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tennessee F.A.A.F.O is Reading. How I'm your host, Felicia Baxter. I have been a road warrior all this week with my travels from the Tennessee to North Carolina. Now I'm hanging out in Virginia. I did have the opportunity to see Star Wars: The Last Skywalker. Contrary to popular belief, it's not as bad. It's the previous last several iterations, but it wasn't all that bad. It wasn't all that good, but it wasn't all that bad. I'll discuss that a little bit. I wanted to read a little bit more from Dickens' A Christmas Carol, as well as talk a little bit more about seasonal affective disorder and where all of us should be for Christmas. And I just want you guys, and thank you for joining. So what is this one? Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I was just excited because it's been a number of years since the last release of a Star Wars movie. I got to go with lightsabers with my niece and nephew. And we had matching t-shirts. However, the movie itself, I think our excitement and our discussion of it was more exciting than the actual movie. The ending was a little bit whack. I'm just going to let you... The graphics, you can't be beat. I'm excited. I think I'm more excited about the next Mulan movie that's going to release in March. I'm probably going to go to see that with my niece. I didn't understand. There was this massive prologue that it was so long that we thought we were in the wrong movie. The movie itself, kudos to the graphics team. Boo to the people that wrote the end. Thought it was whack. And would I go see another one? Probably. But that's just me, and I'm a nerd. And I'm actually gearing up for the next Star Trek iteration called Picard. That's actually getting ready to come out in a couple of weeks, and I'll start posting about that too. Now, on to I forgot I had this on here. On to my as I was stating, on to reading more about from A Christmas Story or A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Marley's ghost. Can you? Can you sit down? Asked Scrooge, looking doubtfully at him. I can. Do it then. Scrooge asked the question because he didn't know whether a ghost so transparent might find himself in the condition to take a chair, and felt that in the event of this being impossible, it might involve the necessity of an embarrassing explanation. But the ghost sat down on the opposite side of the fireplace as if he were quite used to it. You don't believe in me, observed the ghost. I don't. What evidence would you have of my reality beyond that of your senses? I don't know, said Scrooge. Why do you doubt your senses? Because a little thing affects them, a slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave about you, whatever you are. Scrooge was not much in the habit of cracking jokes, nor did he feel in his heart by any means waggish then. The truth is that he tried to be smart as a means of distracting his own attention, and keeping down his terror, for the spectre's voice disturbed the very marrow in his bones. To sit staring at those fixed glazed eyes in silence for a moment would play, Scrooge felt, the very deuce with him. There was something very awful, too, in the spectre's being provided with an infernal atmosphere of its own. Scrooge could not feel it himself, but this was clearly the case. For though the ghost sat perfectly motionless, its hair and skirts and tassels were still agitated as by a hot vapor from an oven. You see this toothpick, said Scrooge, returning quickly to the charge, for the reason just assigned, and wishing, though it was only for a second, to divert the vision's stony gaze from himself. I do, replied the ghost. You are not looking at it, said Scrooge. But I see it, said the ghost, notwithstanding. Well, I have but to swallow this, and be the rest of my days persecuted by a legion of goblins, all of my own creation. Humbug, I tell you, humbug. At this, the spirit raised a frightful cry and shook its chain with a dismal and appalling noise that Scrooge held on tight to his chair to save himself from falling into a swoon. But how much greater was his horror when the phantom, taking off the bandage round his head as if it were too warm to wear indoors, its lower jaw dropped down upon his breast. Scrooge fell upon his knees and clasped his hands before his face. Mercy, dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me? Man of a worldly mind, replied the ghost. Do you believe in me or not? I do, said Scrooge. I must. But why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me? Got a few pages at least. And again, the specter goes on to prove to Scrooge that he really was a spirit from another world. And Scrooge finally cowed, gives in, and the ghost talks about his travels. And he said, you gotta listen to me because I need to go back over to the other side. And Scrooge said, I will. And that's when he basically warns him that he has to come back multiple visits and say, you better beware. And say, and then of course Scrooge, trying to control the situation, says, can't you just come back all at once? And he says, nope, I gotta come back multiple times. So with that, the air was filled with phantoms, wandering hither and thither in restless haste, and moaning as they went. Every one of them wore chains like Marley's ghost. So not only did Marley come, he brought friends, a bunch of other jokers. Some few, they might be guilty governments, were linked together, none were free. Many had been personally known to Scrooge in their lives. He had been quite familiar with one old ghost in a white waistcoat, with monstrous iron safe attached to his ankle, who cried piteously at being unable to assist a wretched woman with an infant, whom it saw below upon a doorstep. The misery with them all was clearly that they sought to interfere for good in human matters and had lost the power forever. Whether these creatures faded into mist or mist enshrouded them he could not tell. But they and their spirit voices faded together, and the night became as it had been when he walked home. Scrooge closed the window and examined the door by which the ghost had entered. It was double locked, and he locked it with his own hands, and the bolts were undisturbed. He tried to say humbug again, but stopped at the first syllable, and being from the emotion he had undergone, or the fatigues of the day, or the glimpse of the invisible world, or the dull conversation of the ghost, or the lateness of the hour, much in need of repose, went straight to bed without undressing, and fell asleep upon the instant. So he was just so psychologically worn out from the musings and talking to the ghost and seeing his ghost and reminders of lost people and lost times of past, that Scrooge was just taken aback, and he had to put it out of his mind, and he just had to go to sleep. I find it all interesting. And last but not least, I wanted to also talk about this time of year. The next several days are going to be cool. As much as you can, get exposed to sunlight and be around people that make you happy. I would suggest that you do it. But if you can't, and you are depressed, and you have your own demons like Scrooge's ghost, and again, if you have issues that you need to unpack, you can call the 1-800-273-8255. It's to talk about your depression or your addiction. There is an online chat feature at Suicide Prevention lifeline.org/chat/. And there is also a 1-800-662 number, help. That's 1-800-662-4357. Both are 24/7, 365. No one should actually suffer in silence. There is also Talkspace and Doctor on Demand, which both cost less for a month of therapy, which is definitely cheaper than you could ever receive by going to a therapist every single day. And this wraps up this episode of Tennessee F.A.A.F.O is Reading. I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as I've enjoyed creating it. Don't forget to navigate to DalesAngelsInc.com for all special offers and updates on nerd news. Drop me a line at TennesseeF.A.A.F.O.is.reading@gmail.com, or even leave a two-minute voicemail at 423-463-0658. No trolling messages, please. If it is not trolling, I'll actually read it or play it during the podcast. Also, if you like what you're hearing and you're tired of freeloading, become a patron through Podbean at patreon.podbean.com/talkingfro. You can also leave me a tip at paypal.me/FeliciaDAI. This was an enjoyable read, and if you can take anything from Dickens, you will also endeavor not to have any regrets, be present, and enjoy the time you have with people that really make you happy, and go out of your way to be around people that make you happy. And until next time, happy holidays. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride.
Bye.